All right, y'all. Good morning. Good morning, y'all. This ain't gonna be a long live stream. This live stream's got something to do with live stream I was on last night. Chaotic Truth, and a lot of the things I was saying, man, was mischaracterized. So what I wanted to do is I want to give you guys a kind of explain myself and let y'all see what I was really talking about, man, because Chaotic had a brother on there that he was really letting his brother do a lot of talking. And so the rest of us really wasn't getting a chance to kind of address the situation. All right. All right. So I'm gonna get right to the meat of the thing, man. So this is Chaotic Truth, and he is going to be discussing a trailer for a series that's out there, docu series that's out there called I forgot if it's not it's all good or it's all white or something or whatever, something like that. But I'm gonna let you guys see it right now. So let me put it out there and let's go.
Who else is in the chat? Mystique says hello to you, South African Red Pill. Guys, let me get into this critique of this monstrosity of a docu-series. It's called Everything's Gonna Be All White. The name in itself sounds stupid. But let's get to this ridiculous docu-series real quick. Give me a second, guys. I'm still here. Okay, give me 1 second. Here we go. Boom. It's right here. It says, warning. Now watch out for this disclaimer. Guys, it says, warning, this trailer may trigger white people. Thank you for the super chat. New Ideas. New Ideas says, cheers for reading my question out. Appreciate that. Of course. Thank you. What's up, Ed Watt?
Okay, so you see, this is a trailer. Yeah, that's the name of the movie is Everything's Gonna Be All White, and so he is basically going to show this trailer throughout the video to get people's opinion on it, and so it was pretty triggering. Um, I think it was pretty triggering for any people, but primarily white people put them in a really ugly situation. But let's see what Chaotic got to say.
What's up, Seven? Still, positivity is definitely coming your way. I'm glad that you have chosen to watch me on this beautiful Wednesday. Salute to you, sir. Guys, the trailer that I am critiquing is called Everything's Gonna Be All White. This ridiculous docu-series that is anti-white propaganda. It's disgusting, and I don't like it, but I'm definitely going to critique the trailer for you. The first episode came out.
I don't know if he saw the first episode or not, but I don't know. Like I said, it may just be a triggering trailer. It may not be that bad. I don't know. I haven't looked at the series myself, but we were just all of us were just talking about the trailer and the triggering aspects of the trailer.
I think 2 or 3 days ago, I watched half of it, and I'm not going to lie to you, I was utterly and viscerally repulsed by what I saw. But guys, this says, warning, this trailer may trigger white people. I'm offended by this, and I'm a black man. This disclaimer triggered me, and I'm black. How dare you, the liberal left, the liberal media, how dare you say that this is going to trigger white people? How dare you put all white people in the same damn category? How dare you put them all in the same damn monolith? Whites are not a monolith. Every white person is not a damn slave owner. Every white person is not racist. So why would this video trigger all white people? Hence the overemphasis on the word white. I think that this disclaimer is a joke. I think it's making fun of white people. And I think that this disclaimer is very, very offensive. And I think it's offensive towards other groups of people. This triggers me as a black man. I'm offended by this. But the liberal left, they don't think that most blacks will be offended by this. But it's offensive.
I think what annoys me most about white people is when they pretend like they're the victim. What's also annoying is when they kill us.
Okay. Let's stop the horse shit right there. Let's stop. You know damn well you are not worried about white people killing you. First of all, you're not dead right now. There are 30 plus million black people in this country that have never been killed by white people. It's the reason why we're still alive right now. There aren't white people just running around the streets killing people. Now, pink shirt, now you know damn well you would not walk down a desolate.
Her name is actually Amanda Seals, but he's calling her pink shirt. All right.
Street in Detroit, the south side of Chicago in the evening. You know damn well that the person most likely to kill you is the person of your same complexion. This isn't the chaotic truth just saying things out of his mouth. These are stats. You and I both know that most murders are intra-racial. Let's be completely honest. Let's be completely honest with it. Pink shirt, you and I both know that. But you're getting on this silly little docuseries and you're saying that all white people are murdering black people. No, they're not. And that's disingenuous. And you as a comedian.
She didn't say that, right? She never said all white people are murdering black people, right? I didn't hear her say that. But if you guys did, I put the link in Chaotic's video in there. If you find out, if you go to the video and you see that she said that all white people are killing black people, or all white people are racist, or all white people, then come on and bring it back. Come on and bring it back. I do admit that it is triggering to I don't know if it's triggering to white people, but definitely the trailer is triggering to blacks that have bought the narrative or are holding on to the narrative that some kind of way, white people are the force that's stopping their lives from having success. Yes, it is triggering to those people. I will admit that. All right, so let's let Chaotic truth. One thing I like about Chaotic, he can express he can express himself. So all I got to do is just play the video, let him talk, and he'll say what he got to say.
You as a comedian should know better. You know damn well that you would rather walk down a street in Calabasas, California than in Detroit. You and I both know that you don't live around black people. So stop being disingenuous.
Now, see, this I don't understand. This is one of the points of contention I got here. I got about 7 points that I'm going to go over. Now, one of the points is because I don't live around black people, therefore I have no way to, I'm not able to speak about the issues that's going on with them or identify with them just because I don't live around black people. That to me doesn't make any sense, but let's let Chaotic, he's the one with the 2 master's degrees. Let's let him talk.
What is fragile about whiteness when everything has been constructed around it?
What? Everything's been constructed around whiteness. What is he talking about? if everything's been, hold on, let's hear it out for a minute. Let me give him an opportunity to finish what he was saying.
Every part of
about whiteness when
what's also annoying is when they kill us.
what is fragile about whiteness when everything has been constructed around it?
Wrong. Everything has not been constructed around whiteness. You know why everything hasn't been constructed around whiteness? Guy, if everything was constructed around whiteness, every white person would be rich. Every white person would be well off. Every white person would not.
Okay, so obviously, chaotic is, what's the word I want to say? Extrapolating the fact that just because things are made for, or things were designed to have a certain outcome, that doesn't mean you're gonna get that outcome every time, right? But that's his argument. His argument is that if everything was designed so that whites could be successful, then every white person would be successful. And that's not true. You know what I mean? So, I mean, it's just disingenuousness on both sides here. You know what I mean? Just because there's unsuccessful white people doesn't mean, the exceptions don't discard the rule. And so just because they're unsuccessful white people doesn't mean that the country wasn't initially set up to promote white people, at a certain point. So therefore, and help them, make its survival easier for them as opposed to other people. So therefore, let's don't be disingenuous on either side. Let's just tell the truth. See, that's what I'm talking about. We just want to tell the truth. Giving out information out here, let's give out the truth. All right? All right, let's finish up with the cat truth.
There are millions of poor white people in America. So how could the country be constructed around them? That doesn't make any damn sense.
Remember what I said. I said racism, color is not the issue with racism. Vulnerability is the issue with racism. Racism will go and find the most vulnerable group, and the stronger group will typically try to take advantage and come up on the vulnerable group. That's just the way it is. That's the way it is. It's in the Bible called might makes right. Might, if I'm stronger than you, it's the way of the beast. I'm stronger than you, right? If I'm stronger than you, you're going to be my dinner. If I can overpower you, that's how beasts think. If I can overpower you and I'm hungry, you're going to be my dinner. Whether you got a family or not is irrelevant to me. Right? I need to eat. Right? Well, same thing with racism. Racism is like a beast mentality. Just whoever is the least protected person, that racism is going to go there and try to make resources out of that group and get any kind of benefit out of making resources out of that group or getting the resources from that group or whatever. Right? So if that group is white people doing it to white people, that's how that's gonna happen. If it's white people doing it to black people, that's how that's gonna happen. If it's black people doing it to white people, that's how that's gonna happen in this country. Typically, black people don't do stuff like that. Typically to white people, we typically do that to each other, but it can't happen even here in America. All right, so let's finish up.
You have Asians that come over here. You have all types of different people that come over to this country and thrive over whites that have been here for generations. What are you talking about? Stop it.
Every part of who I am has been distorted or criminalized.
Lady, stop. Everything around you has not been criminalized. And you cannot blame white people for that. Do you remember a time when black people, Asian people, uh, uh, Hispanic people, when they would look at a person like you after 9/11 and think that you were a criminal? What is she? What are they talking about here?
It's really just a bunch of white lies.
What white lies? What is he talking about? What are they talking about? What white lies? This documentary called Everything's Gonna Be All White is on Showtime. It is a disgusting documentary. It is anti-white propaganda. You're trying to say that all white people are liars? What are you talking about? So does that mean that all black people, all Asian people are truth tellers? Stop it with this nonsense. If we're going to be an inclusive society, if we're going to be a society that is based on the principles that Martin Luther King talked about 60 years ago, content of character, we have to stop with this lie.
What
all
lie?
White people are not bad. All white people are not evil.
I don't think anybody said that. I mean, I think that that they made it seem like they are actually you know, walking a fine line of trying to put that assumption out there that white people just in general are these evil people. But that is not. Of course, we know that that's not the case, but just in general, it's not them. It's more of a systematic situation that serves them. But yeah, that's unfortunate that this is how they are. This trailer is putting out that kind of information. But the whole point is, none of them never said all white people are these evil, wicked people. But I guess that's the assumption you can make if you don't do your own thinking.
All white people are not liars. Just like all black people are not criminals. We have to stop this.
We're storming the Capitol! You're not patriots. You're ridiculous.
What? Hold on. Let me go back real quick. Let me go back.
The lies.
It's really just a bunch of white lies.
We're storming the Capitol! You're not patriots. You're ridiculous.
No, they are patriots. They are citizens who felt as though their legitimately elected president was being swindled out of an election. That's why they stormed the Capitol.
Okay, so now Chaotic says, "Hey, you know what? If you don't like who the president is, or you think that you have no proof of this swindling that has gone on, you can just storm the Capitol, kill police officers, and you're a patriot. You can kill police officers, and all because of it's patriotic. When blacks have situations like this and they kill police officers, they're murderers for whatever reason, right? They're murderers. But a group of white people can go up to the Capitol, break into it, steal government equipment from the highest level of the government, kill police officers, murder police officers, and Chaotic calls them patriotic. I didn't hear you say that before, Chaotic. Wow, man. Wow. I hope me and you gonna have to sit down and talk about that one, because I don't see how. I think if it was a group of blacks that went and stormed the Capitol, and they killed police officers, the last thing they would be calling them was patriotic. Okay, let's continue on here.
Other groups of people have stormed the Capitol. Other groups of people have stormed government buildings. Other groups of people have rioted and destroyed cities. We're not going to name any names here because that's what I'm not here to do. But let's stop with the BS. Margaret Cho. Margaret Cho, you're trying to demonize all white people by saying that they stormed the Capitol. No, only a few hundred white people stormed the Capitol.
Oh, that's not that many.
Millions of white people were at home having dinner in the confines of their own home.
True.
And millions of white people also voted for the other guy, Joe Biden.
True.
So it's not all white people, Margaret Cho. Oh, whom, by the way, is married to a white guy, or who was married to a white guy.
And like I said, I never heard her say that all white people did this. So we still have this out here, but it's triggering, right? Let's continue.
The hypocrisy, right?
One of the definitions.
Oh, let me go back real quick. Let me go back. Whoa. Let me go back.
I don't know what's going on with him. Let's move it along because it's.
Oh, that's his name. You can look him up. He's lying to you guys right now. He's trying to race bait you. They're trying to sell you racism. Oh, by the way, Mel D. Cole, guess who he's married to? He's married to a white person. A white.
Now, I don't understand this situation. When you're married to a white person, now you can't say anything about black issues. Help me understand this, somebody. I'm trying to understand this, man, because this is one of my points that I'm gonna go over. I'm trying to let him get through this video if he ever get through it. But it's the hypocrisy in some of these points are really bad. It's really bad. If I'm married to a white person, so therefore, as a black person, I can no longer talk about black issues because I'm married to a white person. Ouch. Ouch. The logic is absolutely terrible here. But we're gonna let's finish. I'm trying to get him out.
Who's Australian, by the way. If white people are so bad, why did you marry a white woman? Mel D. Cole? I don't get it. If they're so bad, why didn't you marry a beautiful black woman? Why didn't you marry an oppressed black woman? These liberals are insane. I'm telling you. You can look these people up. His name is Mel D. Cole. Mel, then D as his middle name, and then Cole.
Come on.
Who's trying to convince people with this silly docu-series that white people are bad and we need to rethink history and yada, yada, yada. Erica Hart was married to a white woman. How bad are white people if you're married to a white woman? These people on this docu-series are full of shit. They're selling you racism.
All right. I'm done. I think I let him get as far enough in the video as possible. I think I let him get as far as he could. So now let me get to my points. I made some points last night on the stream last night, and that's what I'm gonna get to. Okay. We did a lot of talking last night. I was on the stream for about 3 hours last night with Chaotic Truth and a bunch of other guys. Shout out to the rest of them, Rush, and a bunch of the other people that was on the stream with us. So my first point was that Chaotic mentioned that there is no institutional racism. He said that institutional racism did not exist. I gave him an example. I used the prison complex, the industrial prison industrial complex as a system of systematic racism. Said this is a system. This is a pipeline. You have these young men, young black men in particular, that run through the foster care system, the youth authority system, and then they on their way to the adult prison system. It's a pipeline. I said that uh, blacks commit less crimes, but they get charged more. They couldn't respond to that. Blacks commit more crimes, but they get charged more. Why do they get charged more? Because they have less ability to defend themselves with their own attorney. They have to use a public defender, and these public defenders are out here throwing alley-oops to these judges and these prosecutors so that they can get their turn to be to go up the ladder themselves. So they get out here and they let these prosecutors get easy slam dunk victories on them, so they can go up the not the corporate ladder, but the judicial ladder. It's an ugly situation. It's an ugly situation, man. But I said, hey, they tried to tell me, oh well, Clarence, white people are not committing as much crimes. White people are not committing as much crimes. I said, you're crazy. There's no way they can be the majority of the country and commit less crimes. They're getting charged less. They're doing less time, and they're getting convicted less. They're getting charged less, and they're getting convicted less because they most of the time per capita are able to afford attorneys. Their own attorney is giving them an opportunity to plead out of the situation or have the charges reduced or even dropped in a lot of cases. Whereas the black defendants are not in a situation where they can get their own attorney most of the time. Most of the time they have to use a public defender. And these public defenders are out here to throw alley-oops to these prosecutors because they know that if they keep throwing alley-oops to these prosecutors, that's going to help their career. They're hoping that it's going to help their career eventually, right? Push them up the judicial ladder. Hey, I did this for you. Remember when I was a public defender, I let you win these cases. So, they'll bring them in the fold. It's a whole complex situation. And the people that's suffering the most, it happens to be these young black men. Why? Because they black? No, because they're just the most vulnerable portion of the population. Told you. And I went and told them that, and then I also told them racism. Racism is a competition for resources between certain groups. That's it. Oh, Clarence, we got the definition here. See, racism means that you don't like somebody because they got some type of skin color or they got some type of physical attribute that, that's what racism means. That's the connotation. That's the connotation. What it actually means is the racism is a struggle for resources. It's a competition for resources by specific groups. And typically, it is the stronger groups overtaking the most vulnerable groups. Period. Now, as I said last night, classism may fall in there. Colorism may fall in there. Those things may be separators in there. But overall, racism is not looking at somebody saying, oh, we only going to take advantage of you because of your color. They're going to take advantage of you because you're the most vulnerable portion of the population. Period. The end. Period. The end. So we went through that there is institutional racism. Just talking about just the pipeline from foster care to adult prison, for adult male prisons. That's an institutional racism right there. Oh, see, but you stuck on color, you stuck on physical attributes as separators, and this not has nothing. The only separation is, can you defend yourself? If you can't defend yourself, then racism is coming to get you. Period. The end. So the next point of contention, that was point one, that there is and if you can prove that I'm otherwise than what I'm saying, come on and prove it. I already proved number one. The point number one was that there is institutional racism. I just went over that about the prison industrial complex. The next point of contention was racism versus bigotry. Now, a lot of people use the word racism instead of the word bigotry. Good to see you, brother D. Let me tell you about brother D, man. Let me stop the program right here. Brother Daryl was one of the few cats that checked on me when I was down and out with the C-19, man. I'm always remember you for that, brother D. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate you, man. Good to see you as well, man. Good to see you as well. Yeah, brother Daryl. So what y'all? I don't care what y'all think about brother Daryl. That's my dude right there. You know, man. I don't always agree with him, but you know what? I always knew in my heart he was a good dude, and he proved it to me. So, anyway, thank you for checking in on your brother D. Appreciate you, man. Okay, so we back talking about chaotic, right? And how I was on there. So we talk about the second point. Second point is racism versus bigotry. Okay, so racism, I already spoke about that and said racism is not what you thought it was. It's not. It's a competition between groups for resources. That's what racism actually is, right? Bigotry is the distinction between one group over another group for whatever uh, separator they want to use, whether it's a physical attributes, heredity, whatever kind of typically a hereditary issue that they would use as a separator for one not appreciating one group over another group. That's bigotry. But those two terms are always interchangeable in the Black community because we don't understand what's actually going on, and we have a what you call a emotional response to these situations instead of a logical response to these situations. Instead of using our logic, right? I'm going to get into that in a little while. So racism versus bigotry. Make sure you use the right term next time you're talking about something, because racism does not have nothing to do with nobody's hereditary characteristics that have been passed down to them. I know a lot of people say that and they say, yeah, this is racist because they know they're misusing the word. Anyway, moving on to point three. Point three. You have to acknowledge points of contention and accepted cultural norms doesn't equate to victim mentality. Yeah, so if I'm going to accept, if I say to you, I say to the American government, hey, you know, the all those years of slavery had an effect on the way I'm living at this point, based on generational issues. Uh, if you was to do something about it, that would help. That's not a victim mentality. That's not a victim mentality. If a woman gets arped, drop the link. Okay, come on, let's do it. I sent it to you, chaotic, but let me drop it. Let me drop it on you, brother. Let me drop it on you, and then you guys can come on in. You can come on in, brother, and you can dispute what I'm saying. But I don't think I did you wrong, brother chaotic, because I let you talk. I let you let your video play where you was up here and you talking. So I ain't trying to cut. I'm just going on the points of contention that I had, that your audience was labeling me as having a victim mentality, because I'm pointing out things that has happened, and pointing out real issues. I'm having a victim mentality, and I never had a victim mentality. I'm just pointing out the truth. Just point out the truth. Like I said, anyway, like the example I used last night. The example I used last night was, if your sister got arped, right? Is your sister complaining because she goes to the police and say, check the police every once in a while and say, hey, have you made an arrest yet? Is she is she have played a victim? Does she have a victim mentality? No, I don't think so. Just because you want to see justice for something that happened, if other people don't go get justice for what's happened to them, that's on them. That don't mean I gotta not try to get justice for myself. And I think that because black people try to go get justice for themselves, now it's an issue. You got to just turn your back and leave it alone. The Jews don't leave nothing alone. They go get justice, man. Listen, let me tell you something, man. Jews will go and they'll go all over the planet to find those guys that was running those camps. They'll be 92 years old in a rocking chair, and they don't know what the hell they don't even they have Alzheimer's. The Jews will bring them back, try them, and put them in jail if any of them are still alive. Brother Chaotic,
What's up, man?
What's going on with you, man?
Nothing much, man. Just getting ready for a live stream I'm going to do in 5 hours. But what's up with you?
Nothing much, man. I respected that, man, but I had to come out, man, because I had some points that was really bothering me about last night, man. Even though it was a good show, it was a good show, it was a great show. But I felt like you were being to that brother Kid Wiz or whatever his name is, Kid Styles. You was rarely giving that brother so much time to talk.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, man. And he got inordinately more time than everybody else to talk. And I understand he was in agreement with you, so you want to hear what he had to say. I get that. But for the rest of us, it was difficult to get off what we were trying to get off because he was speaking so long. Every time he spoke for like 15, 20 minutes. But anyway, that's a whole nother topic. That's a whole nother topic, man. How you doing this morning, man?
I'm doing awesome, man.
Okay, man. I know you got a lot to do, man. So I'm not gonna waste a whole lot of time, going back and forth with you. But I do want to ask you a few questions. Number one, did you seriously believe that these people on this video were saying that all white people are bad, all white people are no good, and so on and so forth, which you had said a couple of times?
I'm going by what they said. They literally out their mouths were saying statements about whites, and making generalized statements about whites.
True.
I'm going by what they were saying. I'm not going by what I'm thinking. That's what they literally said. Like the professor, Dr. Painter, she's a professor at Princeton, and she's saying that the history of whites in this country is that of ignorance. She didn't say some whites. She said whites. I'm just going by what she said. Right. And then her being married to a white man makes it even funnier because are you saying that your husband is ignorant? I mean, I just have a lot of questions.
Okay, so that's another thing, because you really made the point that if like a lot of these people were in relationships with white people, so you made the point that it was kind of hypocritical of them to be making the comments that they were making or making the statements that they were making because of their relationships with white people, the relationships they were having with white people. My question to you is, what's the difference whether they have relationships with black people or white people?
Oh, I mean, it makes me never mind. But the thing is that they're being disingenuous because they're talking about whites on the one hand, but they're laying in the bed with them and married to them on the other. I named, listen. Out of that trailer, that's 2-minute trailer, 4 of the 7 people that appeared in the trailer are married to white people: Mel Deco, Dr. Nell Painter, Erica Hart, and Margaret Cho. So, so the question I have is that if whites are practicing racial white supremacy, if they have racist institutions, if they are just these bad people who are ignorant, why are you allowing them to stick their penis in you, and why are you sticking your penis in them? I mean, like, I hate to be so brutally honest, but that's. I mean, I just don't. I've never have gotten that. If these people are so evil and if they've done these things throughout history, these atrocities, why are you sleeping with them? If they're so this, that, and the other, they're so maniacal. I don't get it. Go ahead.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. Is it possible? Is it possible that they just the way they laid the case out or the way it was edited and laid out, um, is it possible that the way they laid it out uh didn't qualify exactly their how they specifically wanted to have that taken? In other words, I don't think that any of those people were saying that every white person is like this. I think it was a generalized statement, right? However, the way it was edited and the way they came off was, you know,
Okay, how about this? The one white guy said he wasn't white; he was Hispanic. He looked more of a he looked more of a mestizo type Hispanic.
okay,
He said literally out of his mouth, this entire reality is made for white people. Well, if that's the case, why are there whites who are poor? Why are there millions upon millions of whites just in America alone who are poor if this country is made for white people? Could it be that could it be that the people who are complaining, who are, I mean, I hate to say it, but I bet you medical doctors who are black aren't saying that this society is made for white people. Now, do prejudice exist in the medical field? Yeah, a friend of mine, her husband is a doctor, and he's dealt with patients who've asked him, is he the doctor when he comes into the room to meet new patients, or they ask for second opinions, and I understand that, but I highly doubt these same doctors would say that they had a hard time getting into medical school, or they had a hard time with anything else dealing with school. They just applied themselves. I hate to say it, a lot of losers give excuses and they generally say the white man. So I think that dude is either a loser or he's pandering to what loser belief system.
okay. So you saying that if somebody says that things in this country was developed, and particularly with white men involved, with white men in mind, that they have a loser mentality?
No, I'm saying that people who give excuses and blame everything on whitey has a loser mentality. That's the loser.
Okay, I can
Yeah.
agree. I can
Yeah.
agree that it's difficult to blame white people for every situation that's going on right now. I could. There was a time when you could get away with that, but now in this day and age, it's very difficult to be able to do that. It's very difficult to be able to do that in today's age. But like I tried to make the case yesterday. Okay, so the eugenics plays a part in this because what happens is we're if we would if we would consider the intellect of the woman that we are trying to procreate with, then the intellect of the children would not drop under a certain level. But the problem is in the black community, intellect is not a consideration. Only the sexual attractiveness that's the main consideration, right? So therefore, we having sex with people that is the 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 spectrum of intellect is big, and when you got a big spectrum of intellect, where you got very smart on one end and not so smart on the other end, the the chances for people misunderstanding a lot of stuff, especially in your children, is going to be high because the intellect is going to be not be as high as it should be. Like I said yesterday, the rich people will a lot of times try to make sure that their children mate with people that have similar level of intellect, because they don't want a big spectrum of intellect, because you don't know what that person's going to do. You don't know what they're going to do or what they could do or whatever if you had a big spectrum. Therefore, same thing in the black community. We're not using our intellect to get out of these issues. We're using emotions to try to drive us out of these issues instead of our intellect. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I mean, I agree that there is a certain aspect of salute to you, Rush. I agree. I think that there's a certain aspect of society or Black culture that uses emotionalism, and
Salute to you guys.
with emotionalism comes, in my opinion, irrational beliefs and irrational thoughts. But then
Do
there's
you
also
agree? Do you agree that mate selection and the consideration of intellect on the other person you're mating with can have a serious effect
oh
on
yeah,
those things?
definitely.
Okay.
No, definitely. I mean, I definitely believe in eugenics. I believe that.
Right.
I definitely believe. I've done videos on eugenics. I definitely believe that Blacks tend to not practice eugenics, and maybe that's one of the reasons why we have a lot of, I hate to say it, a lot of Blacks walking around that are emotional or are irrational. I mean, maybe some Blacks shouldn't be here, unfortunately. But yeah, I mean, yeah, you're right.
There's people of all races that probably shouldn't be here.
Oh, I 100% agree with you on that too. I 100% agree with you on that. I mean, but I'm not other races. I'm Black, so
Right.
I care about fixing the Black race. I care about the Black race. I mean, the white man care about his own race. I mean,
All right, we're gonna talk about that, Chaotic. If you got a minute, we're gonna talk about that, Brother Rush. You were there last night, man, and and I saw you, man. You were struggling to try to keep it all in, man. So let me get your opinion on the live that we was all on last night, man, and your feelings on some of the things that were being said, man. What's going on with you?
Yeah, man. Yeah, I mean, there was a lot that was said last night. And I was a bit disruptive. Yeah, that's what I do. That's kind of, but yeah, man, a lot of the things that forgot his name, Kid
Kid
Styles
Styles.
Hello.
was definitely inaccurate about the Black
hey,
community.
Rush, I mean, not Rush, Brother Clarence. I'll be back. Give me a second, okay?
Okay.
Yeah, was incorrect about the Black community, and here's the thing, man. Just because people will point out certain events that would take place back then, doesn't mean that they're claiming the victimhood. They just recognize what was going on, and when those events take place,
Exactly.
the ripple effects that comes with that, it comes with a side effect.
Right.
Yes, eugenics is a real thing. The founder of eugenics was the mother of Bill Gates, and her beliefs was that the black community intellect is inferior into the in comparison to the the dominant race,
Right.
which is inaccurate. Like
Right.
but I don't want to get into a debate with that. But
Rush. Let me ask you something, brother, because I just asked him, and he had to agree to it. So what I'm saying about eugenics, I'm not saying that there's a dominant race over another. Although there's arguments for a lot of that, but that's not where I'm going with it. Where I'm going with it is, if you're going to have children with someone, if you're going to have children with them, the likelihood of your children listening to you better is going to be better if the woman listens to you, and the woman's not going to listen to you unless she's got the intellect to listen to you. A lot of people use emotion to deal with try to use to drive their comprehension, right? What we're supposed to use is intellect to drive our comprehension, but instead, if their intellect is not there, the secondary thing that we have to use is emotion. That's the survival skill set that we have, is using our emotions, because we would survive there reacting from our emotions. So, but a lot of people don't have the intellect. So, if you're going to have sex with someone and for the purposes of creating heirs to your kingdom, don't you think it would be better to consider the intellect of the other person as opposed to just their physical beauty appearance, whereby making children that will probably be more apt to be able to understand and comprehend what you're saying and make better decisions in long run.
Yes, I do agree that that is something we don't practice. But yeah, yeah, I mean, you're right. You're right. As a certain portion of within the black community do not practice this. Not all, but I do agree with you on that.
Right. Okay. So now let me ask you this, because you were there last night. Now I just got done telling Chaotic, and Chaotic had to, he had something he actually had to do. He was just dropping by, so we got lucky that he came by. But he's got some other issues, some other things he got to deal with. But I sent him I let him know I was going to do this, so see if he could come through. But anyway, you were there last night, and I told him, I said, you let this guy, Kid Styles, talk too long. I mean, every time he talked for like 20, 30 minutes. And so was that just me? Or how did you see it last night?
No, no, I definitely and yo, salute to brother Chaotic, but I gotta keep it a buck, man. He allowed this individual to rant
Right,
for so long,
right,
He had nothing positive to say about the black community at all. All he had
right,
to say was, disparaging comments about our people.
right. And see, I didn't have a problem with that, Rush. I didn't. I mean, well, put it like this: I wasn't emotionally triggered by it. I know that you was having a tough time dealing with him, but I really didn't trip on him like that, because I've heard all that stuff before. The thing I had a
But
problem with was
let me say this real quick. The only reason why I responded the way I responded is because there wasn't no civil discourse between everybody within the panel. That
I agree.
energy was already kind of like, already on an unruly setting type. You know what I mean? That's why
Yeah,
I reacted the way I reacted, because I wasn't given a chance to really um give an intricate response every time this guy Kid Styles would say a disparaging comment about the black race.
yeah, and that's the same thing with me, man. I was like, man, they would cut me off, and just like they was cutting you off, and you know what I mean. So, and me and you was coming at it from both sides. I was coming at it from the cool collected side. You was coming from, I'm gonna knock your block off side. So, I mean, we were coming at it from different angles, and we still wasn't getting we wasn't able to get nowhere with that situation with him. But I understood, he was the one guy that was backing up Chaotic's narrative, and so Chaotic gave him a lot of space. But it just didn't work out for us. So that's why I'm glad you're here now. You can talk about what your feelings was, because I know you didn't get a lot of stuff off. Because even after I left, I listened to it when I got home, and I was like, damn, he still ain't still ain't listening to Rush. You know what I mean? But let me ask you this, Rush. Uh, do you think because somebody's if I'm black and I'm married to a white person, do you think that disqualifies me from being able to discuss black issues?
I mean, not all black issues, but it do it okay when somebody marries with outside their race, you know, it's like it's like this, right? Like, why do you even care what goes on to the black community? Because, you know, like in a way, yeah, man, you kind of relinquish certain rights to speak on certain um struggles we go through, but not all situations should disqualify the individual that marries outside their race. So it depends on what that individual is speaking on.
Okay, I can dig that. I can dig that. I don't agree with that, but I definitely can respect that. I
Yeah, man.
respect
I didn't want to answer that because I know you're married to a white wife, man, and
that.
you're a solid brother, man. I rock with you, man. I didn't want to answer that, man. You know.
Nah, man. Hey, man. Hey, brother. I love you for telling the truth, brother. Whether it's me sitting here, chaotic, or whoever, just tell the truth, brother. That's all I would ask for you, man. Tell the truth, man. Because that's all I'm gonna do. I'm gonna tell the truth, brother. So you know what I'm saying. So
Yes.
I look at it like this, brother. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying. If you have something to say that's of value, I don't care who you married to. If you got something to say of value, now here's where I agree with you, Rush. When you trying to tear everybody down, now I got a problem with you because you're not sitting in our experience, but yet you're trying to throw rocks at us. I can't get with that. That to me is that's a violation. That's offline right there to me. And but chaotic made the point that these people that he was talking about last night, because they were married or in relationships with white people, in some kind of way
He,
disqualified them.
let
Oh, go
me
ahead, brother.
interject real quick.
All right.
Like I know what chaotic means when he's saying that, and I do
Yeah.
agree with him. And
Okay.
let me tell you what I think chaotic means by when he speaks about those people that's married outside their race. Like if okay, when you're speaking on certain topics like racial discrimination towards the black race, and you're screaming being pro-black, and like you're screaming that you're pro-black and all this, but yet we find out you're married to a Caucasian. That kind of disqualifies you of being pro-black because your action shows that you're married to a Caucasian. You know what I mean? And
Okay.
and I can
Now
see
let me
why.
ask you a question. Let me ask you a
Yeah.
question, Rush. Let me ask you a
Mhm.
question before you get on the roll. Okay, so if I'm not married to a Caucasian, but if I was, let's say I'm married to a Caucasian, how does that disqualify? Because there's a lot of black men that's
It
married to
it,
white.
it, disqual- it disqualifies them because it's hip. It's being hip. It's hip. It's being hip. It's they're being a hypocrite because you're promoting a movement of being pro-black, but you're not even fully pro-black yourself. You're pro-life.
Well,
I
okay,
think they
so okay, but
change.
hold on, Rush. Let me
Yeah.
finish this and then I'm gonna let you wrap it up. Okay, so there's a lot of black men that tried to date black women, and the black women didn't want them. Black women didn't want them. They wasn't checking for them. The
You're
only kind
right.
of black woman that's checking for them is a black woman that's the desirability is very low. So now, what do you? Even though they may be, they may be for the community and everything like that, the black women that they want are not wanting them. And so if the black women that they want are not wanting them, and there's a white woman or Asian or Hispanic or whatever that wants them, what's wrong with them getting involved with who wants them and still helping their people? What's wrong with that?
Those kind of circumstances is different, and you're right. Within our community, the black female only is only seeking for a one type of male archetype, whether she comes from of good stock or she comes from the ghetto of the United States. She has a certain type of architect she wants from the black male, you know?
Agreed. Agreed.
And
But if they have,
yes, I mean,
so
but if I
go
were to
ahead, bro.
know that individual's background and why the individual married a outside of his race, I would be reluctant to throw that in his face. I'd be like, okay, I understand where he's coming from, you know?
Yeah, yeah. because we got a lot of brothers that we got a lot of brothers and sisters we throw away because
Yeah,
they
that's
couldn't
why.
find anybody in our ranks, and somebody outside of our ranks showed them love, and they went to that love, and then they try to come back to help, and we throw them away, we push them away because they got a spouse that's not black or black enough, right?
Hmm.
And so
No,
that's the
you're
issue,
right, and that's why I didn't want to give that question direct yes or no answer, because that situation in itself is real intricate. I mean, so I
right?
can't just give it a basic
Yeah,
answer. I
yeah,
mean,
yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, so let me ask you this, man. Last night, the brother Kid Styles, he said that if you don't like it in America, you should just leave. That's what he told us, basically, as black people, right? You don't like it, you should just leave. So I made the point last night. I said, hey, look, nobody asks white people to leave when they don't have an issue. When they have an issue, right? When they have an issue, they go look up the law and they go try to change the law, right? And so
mhm.
why can't we do that? So what's your perspective on if you don't
my
like it here in America, just leave?
my my rebuttal to that is Kid Styles very ignorant. He has no idea about African culture. I mean, by the way he speaks about black people, period, I could tell he hasn't traveled outside the country.
I remember you telling me that.
One, the people from Africa, yes, we share the same phenotype. So we do look similar to these people, but culturally we're totally different from these people. You
Agreed.
know, so
Agreed.
therefore they don't recognize us as us being the same. They have a disparaging word that they use to describe us, and the word is called akatas. The word
Right.
akata means a wild cat that does not have a home.
Wow.
So for him to say that ignorant comments go back to Africa, sir, those people from Africa are not our people. We just look alike.
Yeah, I think we've been they've been taught to hate us. We've been taught to hate them, and so it's gonna take time for that relationship to mend. Just like you know, I watch videos where people have left their children and then they try to come back in their children's life and they wonder why the child don't just accept them back in. It takes time for the child to trust you again. It's gonna take time for those relationships to mend. And same thing for us with them. It's gonna take time for those relationships to mend, and if they mend at all, if they mend at all, you know what I mean. The good thing is that we're all over the world, so we can always call someplace home. But you know what I mean. It's gonna take time for us to mend those relationships, especially over in the African continent. Um, as far as okay, now let me ask you this, Rush, because you was on it last night, man. You was on it, man. So let me ask you this: when you was listening to my man talk, Kid Styles, and you heard some of the stuff that he was saying, can you think of anything that you heard that really you thought, man, wow, that's wild, man, that is way out?
He calls. First of all, I want to say this, man. Just because you're a black male or black female that recognize um systemic racism and the five fallacies of racial domination does not make you a person that carries a cape of victimhood. You just recognize what's going on within
Thank
your
you,
surroundings. I
thank you,
mean,
thank you. Yeah,
that's all. I didn't say it's okay to give up. I never
right.
promoted that on when we having that discussion. Yes, us as black people, we go through a lot of adversities trying to become successful, but we do not. People such as myself and you and people that share the same phenotype as us, that's born and raised within this country, don't just give up. We persevere through the adversities, and we hold a steadfast spirit. Something that this man has nothing of. Because if he did, he will recognize the struggle, and he won't be so quick to say those disparaging words about our people, man. See me, I'm a brother that loves his people, man. I love all people, man, but I have self-love for my people. When
Right on.
somebody says something disgusting, unruly, such as Mr. Kid Styles said last night, I have a problem with that, and I need to speak on that. Know what I mean?
Right.
It is my duty to check that bitch ass nigga. I'm sorry, I just had to say that. I just had to say that.
Easy. Hey man, the last time I had you on, man, somebody hit me up and said, "Hey man, I love the discussion, but that brother's language, man, I can't take it." I was like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah, man. I know, man. Sometimes I give it to him raw and uncut, man. Know what I
That's all
mean?
right, brother. That's all right. That's why I'm here to say, "Hey, Rush, got to reel that one in, brother." So that's all. You all good, brother. You all good. I'll tell you when to take your foot off the gas, brother.
Okay, okay.
Don't even trip. But hey, Rush, I want to play a little bit of brother, so that we can so the people can see what actually was going down last night. So I'm gonna play a little bit of it.
Not only do they complain,
Right.
they don't want to get involved. They don't want to become police officers. They don't want to run for public office. I mean, I have my thoughts on politics, and I think the system's corrupt, but that's another story for another day. But they don't want to do the things that they can do.
I've never heard about the 5 fallacies of racial domination.
Let me
Right?
finish. Let me finish.
Take
They
your
don't wanna do
hometown
things
battle
that
somewhere
they-
else.
Every ordinary black people could do to improve their lives. Most of them aren't doing it. They're not becoming police officers. They're having children out of wedlock. They're committing crimes. These are things that white people have no control over. You have control over this. Okay? Yet all you do is complain. So you got to struggle.
Can I?
Okay. So let me say another thing they said last night. Kid Style said that white people don't complain about this country. He said they don't complain.
He's such a liar.
I
All they
know,
do is
man. I
complain.
was like, what are you talking
know?
about, man? They complain
Yeah.
about a lot of different stuff, right? I
And
mean,
see,
they
this was what made this discourse so what's the word I'm looking for? Unauthentic, because of him saying that statement. That is
Yeah.
clearly not true. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It eventually turned into pandering. He was pandering to Chaotic. I mean, we all saw that, right? I mean, we all saw that he was just pandering to Chaotic, and he was basically, making
Yeah, he was
Chaotic.
definitely blowing Chaotic for that one.
Yeah. And see, I understood that but I just didn't like the fact that he was given way more time than 4 or 5 of us put together. He was given more time to say espouse his views, and then we weren't given the same amount of time to go over, because he was making some very, very simple, easy to debunk remarks, but we weren't given the time to debunk them. So that was the problem I was having with him last night, man. But what I do want to say is, brother, you are a very intelligent brother, very intelligent, man. Try to keep your head on you, man. You know what I'm saying? Because you had some information that he needed to hear, but because you got excited, brother, they just kept pulling you off the Chaotic kept pulling you off the program. And I was unhappy to see that, because I felt like, hey man, if they just let Rush get rolling, he's gonna drop some knowledge on him. But unfortunately, that wasn't happening, and I think that was because he was so afraid that you was gonna dig in Kid Styles behind. He just kept pulling you down. So that's just
I mean, I still got so much love for Chaotic, man.
Yeah. Of course,
I
man.
respect him a lot.
Yeah. Of course. I don't agree with him most of the time, but you know what? Let me tell you about Brother Chaotic, man. I was down, man. I was down. I had COVID, man, and a couple people checked on me, man. And Brother Chaotic was one of those people that checked on me behind the scenes, man. He's like, "Hey, brother, you all right? I ain't seen you in a minute." You know what I mean? So Yeah, Chaotix is a good dude, man. I'm never gonna talk. Now, I will say he's crazy, and you know what I'm saying. I don't agree with most of what he say, but
that's one of the things I admire of him, man. He will go against the grain and still keep it civil. You know what I
yeah,
mean? But
yeah,
Kid Styles, he doesn't hold that kind of talent. He's just
yeah.
very like as soon as he opened his mouth, like it's just like, nah, I don't agree with you. Just by your mannerism with it, man. It's not acceptable, I can't accept what you're saying.
Okay, let me ask you something, Rush.
Hmm.
Now, you are a very intelligent brother, and Kid Styles, I believe he's an intelligent cat too. He just he's more of a lawyer type dude where he's just gonna try to see if he can push some information past you. If you don't know that it's bad information, then he looks like he's super smart. But at the same time, I still think the brother's intelligent. Would you be open to having a debate between you and Kid Styles, or all of us coming on and having a debate? But Rush, I need you to stay in pocket though. That's the only thing I'm gonna have to ask, man.
I mean, here's
Brother
the
Clarence,
thing, man.
you asking too much, brother Clarence. You asking too much.
No. Here's the thing, man. I feel like there won't like if I were to say yes and we all would have this debate. I feel like he is not like I feel like Kid Styles. No, I'm not gonna say film. By judging his character, by conversing with him last night, I'm gonna make the assumption that he's not gonna be open to learning something new. You know what I mean?
No, you're right.
He
I
just
agree
he
with
just
you on
going. He seems like a real stubborn individual, and
that.
that he's just always going to be stuck in his ways. So therefore, like, I watch the debate, man, but I wouldn't want to take place in it, man. I mean, because
Okay.
he is who he is, man. I mean,
Yeah, you're right. He didn't really seem like he was open for new information at all. Yeah, I have to agree with you with that. Definitely, definitely. All right, brother. Let me ask you a question. Um, let's get back to this eugenics. The eugenics, where we're going to consider certain things before we actually mate with someone. If you was going to mate with someone and you're going to make some heirs, okay, well, first of all, we already agreed that marriage is for creating heirs for your throne, right? That we already agreed to that. Now,
it's still it's still like this till this day. It's just used different titles for it. You know what I mean?
right, right. So,
Especially like, okay, with the president, with the presidents, a lot of people don't know that in the white side of Barack Obama's family is related to Bush. They
oh,
have their bloodline is connected, and
okay,
that's not a coincidence, man. You
yeah,
know
yeah, it's not
that in itself is it's tied to some type of royalty because you're able to become the president of the United States. They're just not going to handpick anybody or any random
right,
black person to become the president of the United States. You got to be blood related somehow, you
right,
know.
right, right,
So you're
and
right that do plays in. They still practice it to this day, man. You know.
yeah, yeah, and so that was the point I was trying to make last night, because their issue was their point of contention was, well, black people will just not give up the ghost on this whole slavery thing. You just won't do it. And that's the reason why you guys are not doing well, because you keep holding on to this slavery situation. My point was, the reason why they are not understanding, it's not about holding on to it, but it's about understanding and grinding through it, is because we are having we're having sex with people that are pushing the narrative that some type of way it's all white people that's the problem, that's all them, that's the issue, and that cultural norm is getting pushed through the genetic line to the average person, and we're not considering the intellect of the person that we're having sex with. If you consider that person's intellect, like rich people do, they consider the intellect of the person. That's why a lot of times, like I said last night, they will select a mate for their child because they want to consider the family, the bloodline, and the intellect of the person. They don't want a person that has and a perfect example of what I'm saying is Princess Diana. She came in and just destroyed everything, not everything, but she destroyed a lot of the culturalisms that the royal family had. Why? Because her intellect was on another level than those royals. And so that's how come she was on a whole nother page than them. That's what they don't want to happen. She's a perfect example of what I'm saying.
Yo, it's the same scenario with that new prince. That young head.
Prince Markle.
Yeah, him marrying that she's marrying that female because she also is she also don't want to follow the rules of the royalty on how things like goes within that family, because she thinks this is one of those fairy tale joints where you come in and a bunch of peasants is feeding you grapes. Like, nah, man, it's a political job, my fam. Like, you gotta take flights, meet out with certain individuals, not even individuals, but certain leaders, work out treaties and all that, sign documents. It's a job. You know what I mean? She wasn't looking forward to do that. That's why she convinced Harry to relinquish his royal rights, which is
wow.
That guy is like the simp of the century.
Wow.
Like, you relinquish your royalty rights for used up peace leaves, man. I mean, how stupid is that?
but see, Reg, that was the point I was making last night. Once you start having children, okay, so Prince Charles had children with this lady that wasn't had the same level of intellect. That opened the door, that opened the pot for that opened the spectrum up wide for the range of intellect for the children.
Let me tell you why this was a disaster, man. Okay. It's a disaster because, one, she's brought up in Western civilization in the United States, so she's gonna have a bit of she's gonna have a problem with the patriotic system.
Right.
She's probably one of those broad that's into the matriarch system. She's a type of broad that was raised by a single mother. So therefore, like any male role model that comes in front of her, she's gonna have a problem with authority. Psychologically, when you're raised in a single parent household, well, let me revise that statement. When you're raised with a single mother, out the gate, you're gonna have problem with authority, man. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Off the gate. So she has a rebel side to her, man. Like most women in the United States. They don't want to get in line. They want to do their own thing.
Agreed.
But these laws protect them. But I tell you this, Clarence. If the United States was looking like Mad Max, I don't know if you're familiar with that film.
Yeah.
I guarantee you 99% of those women that's running their mouth talking this foolishness would not be talking that craziness, man. See, right now we're civiled right now. Know what I mean? The simps are in power, and also these simps create these laws that protect these women. Know what I mean? But that issue pulling out here in the United States, try that in the Middle East. See how them niggas break your ribs, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Watch how these niggas break your ribs, man, and your fucking jaw. I'm sorry, man. I just had to say it.
Easy.
I just had to say it, man. You know, the law protect these women to act foolish like Prince Harry's wife, man.
Yeah,
that's a simple century, man. I do
Yeah,
not respect men like that, man. He a sucker.
but see, look, that door was open because his mother was like that. See what I'm saying? His mother brought that. She brought that thinking process into the situation. So it opened him up to say, well, my mama was from the streets. I can go get somebody from the streets. And that's how that happened. Usually rich people, that's why they so guarded with the people that they mate with, because they don't want you to even have a thinking process of going to the streets to get a mate. But Prince, his father went to the streets and got a mate. Then that opened up his intellect to go to the streets and get a mate. And so now he went to the streets and get a mate. And not only did she said to him, hey, I mean, a good woman, this is what a good woman would have done. A good woman would have said, hey, listen, you have a duty to your people. I'm not going to take you away from that duty. You go and do your duty. Don't give away your royal position for me. That's what a good woman would have done. What the like you said, the modern woman would do is say, yeah, okay, long as we're gonna be straight, we still millionaires, right? You still got your inheritance, right? We can just live off of that. Okay, cool, no problem. You don't have to do king and all of that. You don't have to do all that. You know what I mean? Instead of thinking about her people, that is letting him think about his people and his responsibility to his people. No, she thought about herself, because she should have just said, hey, bro, I don't want to be with you if I'm going to take you away from your responsibilities to your people. Your family has been in this situation for thousands of years or hundreds of years. I'm not going to take you away from that situation. That's
And
not how
and,
it
and,
happened.
and look what influence one person did. One person caused
Right,
that ripple
right,
effect, man. That's
right.
why it's very that's why it's very imperative for an individual to be careful who he uh copulates with and fuse his life with. Cause
Okay,
this is the ripple effect that comes with that. I mean,
okay. So I got a question for you, Rush, from Sister Susie Q. Peace to you, Sister Susie Q. How is he a sucker? He talking about Prince. What's his name? Prince William. Prince William. How is he a sucker? And they killed his mother's legacy.
is that a rhetorical question?
I'm thinking she's asking you, man. Like, what do you? Why would you call him a sucker when you know
Oh,
they killed?
okay,
I
okay.
don't.
The reason why
Prince
I say
Harry.
this,
Thank you, Sister Susie.
the reason why I say Prince Harry is a person that holds on to holiness is because he relinquished his royal rights over some used up peace tree.
Agreed. Agreed, Susie
That is
Q.
stupid.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Your duty comes first, not your wife, man. Your duty comes first.
Susie
If
Q,
she
can
can't
you
roll with,
cam up? Hold on, Rush. I'm gonna let you finish. Susie Q, can you cam up? Or come online and let's talk about it. But okay, go ahead, Rush, because I wanted to come on and talk if she can.
yeah, your duty comes first, man. Know what I mean,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
you have a responsibility for your peoples. He technically sold out his people for some used up peace leave, man, and that's that is some sucker shit right there. Yes, he is a
Yeah.
sucker for that.
Yes. Yes. All right. I'm sorry, Cherry Cobia. You're gonna have to cam up because you know what I'm saying, I don't know. I can't let you on without camming up. All right, let me add you to the stream. Sister Cherry, appreciate you. How you doing this morning?
Hey y'all, good morning.
Did
Well,
we
good
say something?
afternoon.
Good afternoon. Did we say something that's off? Did we say something that's wrong? What's going
No,
on here?
my question came because I came late, so I was trying to catch up.
Okay.
And then from the little piece I caught, I was trying to figure out, was he talking about Harry or William?
Oh, okay. Are you Susie Q?
Yeah. It's just when
Oh,
it comes
okay,
to
okay, okay,
StreamYard, it
okay,
always change over.
okay, okay. Good to have you in the building, sis. Okay, so what me and Rush was saying was that he did a bad thing. He turned his back on his people for
But
this
Prince
woman.
or William, because I came in late.
The one that married Markle, the one that married Margaret Markle.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I thought y'all would talk about. But when y'all said Kate, I got threw off a little bit.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so
I was just trying to understand, like, okay, everything y'all said, even if you take that for granted, why is it now that they're gonna make Camilla the mistress and give her a title?
why would they make her a mistress and give her the title?
No, she already was the mistress, Camilla.
Okay.
She was Prince Charles' mistress when he was married to Princess Diana.
Oh, okay.
And now they're going to give her a queen title. The queen has okayed it for her to get a title. So how is that any, like, I don't understand what he's saying.
What who's saying?
Rush.
Well, I think he's Rush is a big boy. He can explain for himself.
Yeah, that's because he asked me, was it a rhetorical question?
You what?
He asked me, was it a rhetorical question?
Yeah, I was being sarcastic, but
Yeah, I know. That's why I got on here, because that is a fair question. If you're going to say that he married a has-been, basically, is what you're saying. He married a has-been, and you're upset that they gave her a title because she shouldn't have never been considered a royalty. How do you then justify them turning around and making the known mistress that was very controversial
Oh, okay. Now
and give her
I'm
a
on the same
queen
page.
title?
Okay.
yo, I mean, she probably has a good relationship with the queen, but
But we're
that's
not
not
talking about relationship. You said that duty.
the issue. Is that you married an individual that's of royal status, so therefore you should be ready to take the heat that comes with that. She wasn't willing to take the heat for that. What she
Why
did
should
is
she have to take racism as heat?
What racism are you talking about?
well,
The whole reason why Piers Morgan lost his show, the whole reason why Sharon Osbourne tried to defend him, and they took her ass off too.
listen,
They were
man,
being blatant. Why doesn't his child have a title as
she
Prince?
no, she know what she was getting her into. So if there was any racial situation going between her and that royal family, that's on her. She took she she married this individual, so therefore she should endure what heat that comes with that.
Okay, but he didn't like his mother enduring it, and he witnessed that as a child, and he didn't feel like he wanted his wife to endure it also. Why is it all her fault? How do you not know that he's just tired of the monarchy? How do you not know he just doesn't want to live that life?
Because he been groomed for that life since he was little. I don't think
Yeah.
I don't think it was the fact that he was tired of it. I think he gave it up for her. You know, like coming to America, I'll give it up for you. I think he decided, hey, you know, this stuff is giving her anxiety. I'm going to give it up so that we can just go around the planet and save animals. I think that's what he thought. Now, of course, he's going to regret that in 10 years because he's
Yeah,
going
they're
to
gonna
be
get a divorce. She's gonna divorce him.
maybe
You know what
so.
I mean? She's
Maybe
gonna
so.
cheat. She's gonna cheat on. This is what's gonna happen. She's gonna cheat on him. She's gonna get caught. He's gonna divorce her. He's gonna regret. He's gonna regret why he
How
relinquished
do
his
you
royal
make
rights
all
in the
them
first place.
assumptions? I'm just curious of why does every time I hear Rush on any platform, he just downgrades women? Like, I'm just trying to understand that.
It's a fact, though. This is how the modern move. This is how the modern woman moves. You know what I mean?
No, that's not a fact. That's not a fact that just because he left the royal empire for her, she's going to end up cheating on him. Like, I don't understand. How did you come to that conclusion? It's more like you're projecting.
Well, let me ask you a question, Sister Sherry. Let me ask you a question. Do you think
Projecting
he
how?
made a good move? I'm gonna let you get back out of Rush, but let me ask a question real quick before I forget. Do you think that he made a good move pushing his royal status to the side for her? You think
I
that was
honestly think that's something he been wanting to do since he know the inside dealings of what happened to his mother. And I think he finally found a woman that said, F being a princess, I'd rather be with you.
but how come he couldn't just do that by himself? Why did he have to have her to do it?
Because every other woman that he needed to stand by him was so enthralled with being a princess that they wasn't going to stick by him leaving. And he finally found somebody that was going to stick by him leaving. I mean, because she can't make him leave. I mean,
But what I'm saying,
he's a man.
but what I'm saying, sis, is that he could have left by himself. He didn't need no woman to do it. That's what I'm saying. So
He
why
might
all
not
of
have
a sudden
wanted
he
to do
doing
it
it now that he's
alone.
got
He
this
might
woman?
not have wanted to do it alone. It's a lot of men that can do a lot of things, but with a woman beside them, they do it better. Agree or disagree?
That's not true.
Okay.
Black. Oh, I'm sorry.
All right, so let's do this. Let's do Rush, then Chaotic.
Listen,
And it
man.
just seems
We
like
all know.
it's just my whole question is, why do y'all feel like he wasn't man enough to stay if he wanted to stay? It's like y'all making him like a victim almost.
Oh,
No.
victim.
We
What
just
are you
looking at
talking
it.
about?
Oh well, let me
We're
let
calling
Rush
we're
answer,
calling him
and
a
then we're gonna
sucker.
let Chaotic answer.
I'm
Go,
sorry, I
Rush.
couldn't hear you.
It's on you, Rush.
We're not. Listen, man. The guy is a sucker for relinquishing his royal rights for some ass. You know what I mean, for some used up ass at that. You know what I mean?
Easy,
That's
Rush.
some
Easy.
sucker shit. My bad.
All right, well, Chaotic, what do you got to say about this, man?
Black, white, purple, green, human, or dinosaur. That trashy woman should have never been allowed to have set place in Buckingham Palace. And I
So why
understand
was
that.
it okay for
Whoa,
Camilla to set
Cherry,
fault and get a queen
give me.
title after she
Let
was
me,
the
Cherry,
mistress?
give me a second. Give me a second. Let me finish what I was
I'm
gonna
gonna
say.
let you respond, Sherry. I'm gonna let you respond.
Go ahead.
That woman, she's a peasant. Her mother is a peasant. Her father is a peasant.
Define peasant for me.
Meghan Markle. She
Yeah,
was
no, define peasant, not
a
Meghan
person
Markle.
who is not of a certain bloodline, a person who is not of the elite class. And the fact of the matter is that woman, like so many other women in the past 150 years, that family, this isn't new with Meghan Markle. This has happened with Princess Diana. This happened with the there was I forgot the king, but I think it was her uncle was king for like a year. He also married a Jezebel back in the day, and he relinquished his throne. You can look it up. This isn't me just talking. So the reason why the royal family exists and has existed for so many generations is because of vetting. But they've been doing a bad job at vetting for the past 100 years. And Meghan Markle is another example. That trashy woman should never have set foot in the Buckingham Palace. And you see what happened. Give me a second. She's a lazy American who does not want to work. She's watched thousands of Disney movies and thinks she's a princess like in the Disney movies. No, you have to work on behalf of the queen's interest, meaning you have to go to events. You have to speak on her behalf on on certain boards. You have to speak at certain events, and her lazy American ass, whether she was black or white, did not want to do that. Therefore, she and Harry had to relinquish their titles. They openly admitted that they didn't want to work anymore. But the lazy, no good American and Harry's lazy, no good ass both still wanted to be paid from the royal family. If I was Queen Elizabeth, I too would have admonished them.
All right. I don't know what happened to Brother Chaotic. Sister Sherry, You want to respond to what he was saying?
Yes, I just find it so appalling that these incestuous pedophiles of men is getting this high creed of high value. I mean, are you guys kidding me? The queen been eating babies and kidnapping them for years. Prince Andrew just got caught up in a sex scandal. He is the head of the pedophile. He is the head of the trafficking charity over there. Yet he's been sleeping with teenagers for the last. I mean, like the monarchy is a facade.
Okay.
It's a facade. They're all incestuous. That's a fact that you can trace. All the
Okay.
men have been caught up in all type of ridiculous pedophilia scandals. I mean, like what kind of creed of a man are we talking about? Honestly.
Oh, okay. Okay. I'm having a difficult time identifying what your issue is in particular,
My
sis.
issue in particular is everything they have said is woman bashing. I haven't heard nobody held the men accountable for nothing.
Okay.
He
Let
just
me lay the
said
case out.
Megan was lazy, although she was a working actor and we in the States before she ever went on there.
Okay. Let me lay the case out because maybe you did come in late. So let me lay the case out. The case out that we laid out was that he gave up his ancestral uh, duty that he's been groomed for since he was a baby. He gave that up to be with her. And your comment earlier was, well, he could have did it. He just did it better with her. But we as men understand that a lot of times men will make life changing decisions based on somebody's got feedback. I don't know who it is. I think that might be you, Sister Sherry.
Oh,
That
let me,
feedback. Yeah, that's you. I just had to mute you to get that feedback off. Um, yeah, a lot of times men make life changing decisions, life altering decisions based on a woman. And so we can all recognize that that has happened. Now, the question I'm going to ask you, Sister Sherry, and we're going to go around the room again. Do you think that it was a good thing for his people that he put off his responsibility to millions of people for her? Do you think that was the right thing for him to do? You got to unmute yourself, sis.
I thought that the queen forced them to step down initially. That was my
Why?
understanding of the situation. The queen forced them to step down. I didn't know that they just gave up the duty.
Yeah,
Am
well,
I wrong?
that was my understanding was that he had the option of doing that, and that's an option that he chose to pursue. If the options on the table was being with her or putting down the royal duties and responsibilities. And so my understanding is that he chose the option of being with her as opposed to choosing uh, the responsibilities and the duties he had to his people. Now that's my understanding of what was what took place. And if somebody has some more information, then please come
That's
on in
not
with
what
it.
took place though. What took place
Okay.
is when she came out with them allegations, they asked them to step down.
Wait a minute, who came out with what allegations?
When she came out with the Piers Morgan's controversy, saying how they was calling her baby the N-word, how they
Oh,
was not going to give him a title, and he was upset about them not giving his baby a title and being treated indifferently from the lineage, and then it trickled down from there. So it wasn't her just coming on saying I want to be a spoon-fed royal. Her baby was being slighted from his heritage. Everyone in the castle was calling him N-word behind her back. They was taunting her child, and he felt like to protect his child that he wanted to move. He didn't want to step down his duties. He just was going to move them away in a safe place. And the queen didn't accept the half stepping.
Well, if that's the explanation that you got, sis, I can understand that. But do
So
you think
that's why when,
do
excuse
you
me real
think that
quick,
would
I'm
have
sorry.
happened had he had a white? If his wife was white, do you think these things would have happened?
I mean, yes, because look at Fergie and Prince Andrews. She left. She didn't want to deal with it. She
You're
was the
right.
first.
I didn't mean to say white. What I mean to say was, uh, she could be white, but still of a lower class. You think it still would happen even if she was white and of a lower class?
Yes, that's what happened with Fergie. That's what happened. That's exactly what happened with Prince Andrews and Fergie.
Okay.
So this story is not new with the royals stepping down for women. This is he didn't do he didn't set no precedents. It was a prince before him. I think his name is Prince Lyndon, or one of his older uncles. They stepped down also.
Okay, but do you
They
think that
had
that
white
was
they had white women. They had white women of lower class.
yeah, I know. That's what we started out talking about Princess Diana, where she opened the door for this type of thinking process. We started out with that. But what I'm
No, but
saying
that's
is,
what I'm saying. Fergie came before her and did that.
okay, okay. So let me get Sister Juana in here if she got something to say, and then we go around the room. Sister Juana, are you there? Sister Juana, can you hear me? Okay. All right. So what we're
Can you
gonna
start
do?
off with me, Clarence?
Huh?
Do you mind starting off with me first, going
Yeah,
around?
yeah. Go ahead, man. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm not disagreeing with anybody. I'm just giving my opinion. We don't know exactly what happened at Buckingham, but what I can tell you, from my opinion, is this: Meghan Markle is a typical lazy American. She does not want to work. She's relatively pretty for an older woman. I will give her that. But she has cake walked through life. She watched Disney movies growing up, and she thought that she was just going to be a princess with the titles and not doing anything like in the movies, prancing around Buckingham Palace, probably. When the Queen Elizabeth said, Blackie, get your ass out there and work, then that's when the problem came. You got to work. That's what Queen Elizabeth told her. And being the typical American that she is, looking down upon every other cultural group, she said, you better tell this woman who I am. I'm your wife. And the simp that Harry is, he probably went to go say something to his grandmother, the queen. And she said, well, how about this? You and that nappy headed bitch can get the fuck up out of here. And that's exactly what probably
Easy,
happened.
easy, kid.
Sorry. But that's probably what happened. You and that black bitch. Oh, I'm sorry. You and that black woman can get up out of here. And that's probably what happened. Now again, I'm just being funny with some of the jokes, but here goes the thing. Clarence, let's be honest. You live in Los Angeles. You see beautiful women all the time, probably.
Absolutely.
Those women ain't working at McDonald's. Those women ain't working as lifeguards on the beach. These women are getting catered to, and she probably wanted to be catered to. She probably didn't want to work.
Sometimes, a lot of times, yeah, a lot of times like that.
And that Queen Elizabeth, the beautiful woman that she is, who brought order to most of the planet, said, y'all got to get up out of here. Cherry, I know you're looking at me, but what say you, Cherry? Go ahead.
I mean, you just gave the queen so much, so all of this wonderful thing, and she was like the major one who ran the slave trade. But
She did
okay,
not. The transatlantic
yes, she
slave
did.
trade.
Yes, she did. That's a
She
fact.
wasn't.
That's a
Now,
fact.
Cherry, I got to cut you off. She wasn't
Hold
alive
on,
when the
hold on, hold on.
transatlantic
Let me
slave
respond
trade
to what you just
existed.
said because I didn't interrupt you. You asked me what I had to say.
Sorry.
But I'm just saying, honestly speaking, I agree that Meghan Markle was on the angle. So I'm not going to be disingenuous with that thought. But I'm just what I'm just saying is also that y'all are just trashing her like she just came in broke with nothing, as if she wasn't a millionaire already, as if she didn't have her own established thing going on from the beginning. So that's one gripe that I wanted to give you pushback on. Now, did she work her area well or whatever like that? Maybe. I can give you that. But at the same time, I just feel like a nigga in the palace wasn't going to go over too long, too well anyway. Let's just be honest.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
So that's just that. And I agree that maybe when she got in there, the princess life didn't look like what she maybe thought it would, because even Fergie, Diana, all the previous dukes and duchesses say the same thing. Even Kate Middleton said she had a really hard time adjusting to the customs of being in the royal palace. So, but I'm just saying, with people calling your child nigger, wondering what color he going to be as he come out, straight out telling you to your face he's not going to have a title. I mean, that just puts another layer on what she already was going through. So I don't understand how. Now I will accept the fact that you say she had sex before the marriage, so that kind of puts her in a lower class far as, royalty. I can agree with that. You know what I mean? But I'm just saying, as a person, you just dogged her out, and I just didn't understand that.
I think that well, let me let Rush, and then we'll go around the room. Rush, you got something to say about that?
Yeah, man. Like, here's the thing: the queen. I mean, she gonna do what she gonna do. I mean, you can't come into a kingdom giving out orders to her. It doesn't work like that. I mean, so because of the pushback with the 304 did to the queen, I think that's why she lashed out on her grandson with that not giving a child the title, because they came in. His wife came in that situation unruly off rip. You know what I mean?
Okay, now let me ask you this. What would be the difference from them giving her innocent grandbaby a prince title when she just gave her son mistress a queen title?
Yo, it's politics, man. Like, they probably get
Oh,
along.
no,
That's
no,
how
no,
that
no,
works.
no, no, no,
That's
no.
how that
Answer my
works.
question. You're not
If
answering my question. What is the difference?
Can I answer that?
Hold on, wait a minute. Let me
Mhm.
clear the question up cleanly so I can get a
yo,
direct
let
answer.
Chaotic answer that question. He got this.
Okay,
Well,
wait a
yeah,
minute. Let me ask my
yeah.
clear question first, and then y'all
Okay.
respond really quick. Now, we all know that he couldn't marry Camilla in the beginning because she was of no statue to marry him. So he kept her his side joint, and he married Diana, and he cheated on Diana with her the whole time. And then when Diana died, all of a sudden, they made it okay for her to marry a layman. And now they're going to give this layman a queen title. But y'all feel like it's solidified in her not giving a baby his prince title, his birthright title. So answer that for me.
Well, Cherry, you do have to understand again, and I gotta agree with Rush. The Queen, the family. Well, listen, we don't really know the intricacies
And
of the
that's my
royal.
point right there. We don't really know the intricacies. That
Yeah, we
was
don't
my
really
whole
know.
point.
I agree with you. We don't really know the intricacies of the royal family. Now, however, I do have a lot of people from the UK that call into my channel, and one of the gentlemen is named AM. He, to the best of his ability, he educates us dumb Americans on how the royal family works, which I don't really understand it to a whole ninth. But what I can say is this: Camilla, even if she was the mistress, became the wife of the heir apparent to the throne. Harry, unfortunately, is the son of Prince Charles, but he is not the direct. He is not. I think it's about 9 or 10 people after him to become king or to rule the royal family. So the thing of the matter is that it wouldn't really matter if his son had a title or not, which I don't know whether the kid has a title or not. But Camilla
He doesn't
is.
have one.
I know, but what Camilla is married to the direct heir apparent to the throne, who he will be king upon his mom's death, and he's been married to this woman for what 20? You're on mute.
Deserves stuff because she was a has-been.
But again, Cherry, I hate to say this, but this is exactly why black people need to do their own thing. We're arguing about what these white people are doing in their
Hold
own.
on, chaotic. Hold on. Sherry, you got a lot of feedback. I don't know what you're doing over there or what you hold with the phone situation
I'm
is.
gonna go out and come in on my other device.
Okay.
Cool.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah. So
All right.
All right.
yeah. So I mean, I get what Cherry is saying, but Cherry, and I gotta agree with Rush. Cherry has to understand that. I mean, that's their royal family. Their bloodline goes. They can trace their blood lineage back 1,000 years. I actually
Great.
was studying it like a month or two ago, or a couple of months ago. And the fact of the matter is that Meghan Markle is, and first of all, she's an American. Second of all, she has no royal lineage. She has no royal ties to any other royal families.
Yeah.
She is a peasant compared to them. So,
Come on.
to me,
No, you got one more to go. You got one more to go.
but Clarence,
Come on. Just say it, brother. Just say it.
Clarence.
You got one more to go.
Well, I mean, to be honest with you, yes, her being black is another factor.
There
I mean, we can. Listen. I think everybody. That's come on. That's obvious.
No. But I mean, that's very important to when the bloodline is on the line. That's very important. That's very important. That's to them. They don't have no mixed bloodline, and now you're going to give royal status to a person of mixed bloodline. They just don't do that. They just don't do that. And so that's unheard of. So that created a problem of contention right there, right? Remember, we talked about eugenics before, and they practice eugenics in these royal families where they say, hey, you know what? They try to do it. It's difficult to do it now because why? The one person that introduced rebellion to the issue, she's his mother. So his mother brought in the mentality and the she did not have the intellect. She used her emotions to handle a lot of different stuff because she is from the streets. When the intellect is not there, the only way people can comprehend things just for their own survival is through emotion. They have to emotionally comprehend things just so they can survive, right? Okay, so that's what a person like that was. She introduced that to the children. She introduced that rebellion to the children. And so now they think in rebelliousness. And they okay, so that's why she's saying, you know, you got to give up this throne because I cannot have a person of mixed blood have this throne. Next thing you know, they're gonna be drinking 40s in the front of the
if the queen were to come out and say that, I think it would be, I know, but I think it will be understood worldwide. And I don't have a problem with that. If they want to protect their bloodline, protect it. That's your bloodline.
Exactly.
Yeah. But my thing is that I would say, in my opinion, Clarence, and I'm going to digress because I don't want to take over the panel. In my opinion, I think 90% of it had to do with her American culture. That culture of laziness, the culture of me. And I think it had to do with the fact that she's a lazy American who's been spoon fed most of her life, particularly because of her looks, and she doesn't want to work.
I disagree with the laziness portion. I agree with the American portion. I agree with the fact that you know, she having roots over here in America, and they looked at that as you know, awful, right? And then on top of that, trying to be getting, I mean, it's bad enough you have a Princess Diana who was from the streets over there, but at least he was from the streets over there. Now you talking somebody from the streets over here, and they off the hook, and they black, and they rebelling against the order of things, you know, in the royal family. So you just got a lot of different things going on with Meghan Markle, and so I guess it would just created a hostile environment for her and her children. Brother D, I just brought you into the fray. You got something you want to throw in there, man? You want to add?
Yeah, man. You know what's up? No, that's me talking.
I know, I can see that, Brother D. Just because we black chaotic, that don't mean we all dumb, brother.
I was talking about I was talking
man.
about Deontay. I didn't say we were dumb, but I didn't say anything about somebody being dumb. I was talking about Deontay just using it. He's just talking like that's how Deontay talks. Yeah, man. Yeah, but like I said, man, I think that the Meghan Markle situation is I mean, not is what it is, but it's a situation of you're not gonna work. Okay, watch this. And we don't really know how the titles really work either. We don't know if the titles are given at a certain age, right of ascension.
I believe that they had a real heated discourse, man, that we don't know nothing about. And that's why the queen lashed out on her grandson like that, saying that his child would not have a title. That comes from a place of like she's exercising authority and letting him know, reminding him that she's the one that's in charge. You know what I mean? So I could see why she would not give that baby a title because of that. You know what I mean?
Well, Rush, why you think she won't give him the title? What's your reasoning behind why she won't give him the title?
She won't give him the title because one, she's upset that her grandson married a peasant. I mean, I hate using. I didn't want to use that terminology, but for conversation's sake, I'm going to use it. She's upset that.
Wait, Rush. I'm gonna let you finish. Let me give you the definition of peasant. A peasant, a poor farmer of low social status who owns or rents a small piece of land for cultivation, chiefly in historical use with reference to subsistence farming in poorer countries. And the next is an ignorant, rude, or unsophisticated person, a person of low social status. All right, now we got a definition of peasant. Okay, Rush.
And that's a perfect example of who I'm speaking about. Here's the thing. The queen was like, one, yo, you married a peasant. I'm still mad about you about that. She could have easily stopped that, but yo, because she loves her grandson, she allowed that to happen. So she allowed him to marry this peasant. Now the peasant comes in. One, she already look at you as an inferior being because, like, she's doing you a favor, letting you to come into this royal family. Two, like, you're not gonna give out orders to somebody that's running shit already, man. It doesn't make sense. So by her responding to her grandson saying that child is not gonna have a title, I understand. I don't even think it's a place of being a racist individual. I think she's just like checking that nigga like, yo, I run the show. So therefore, your child is not gonna have a title because y'all coming in here unruly. And I believe that's what went down. Know what I mean?
I hear you. But let me ask both of y'all. What difference does it, why does the child have to suffer because of what the parent has done?
A casualty of war, and that's unfortunate for the child. Because
I was just about to say that.
And you see this all the time. Thanks, Rush. And you see this all the time with people with medical conditions that are genetic. You see this all the time with women or men having children in poverty situations. You, as the adult, when is a good time to bring a child into the world. And Meghan Markle and Harry knew that is probably not the best thing to do. So they were the ones. They knew that they weren't going to work for the royal family. They knew that. They knew that there was going to be a problem with having this mixed heritage child in Buckingham Palace, but they went on ahead and did it anyway. So now they put that child. I mean, of course, the child is going to be cared for by the family. Trust me, the child is going to get an allowance. That child is going to be taken care of for life. But the fact of the matter is that anything else that comes with it, the Harry and Meghan Markle are not going to just be dumb. Oh, I can't believe that happened. They know exactly what's going to happen. And I guess who am I to say this? But fuck it. They should not have gotten married, let alone have had that child. I'm sorry.
Agreed. Yeah. Agreed. And the only reason why I'm saying is the only reason why I'm agreeing with that is because of his responsibilities. If he was just a regular cat on the street, hey, you can marry who you want to marry. But he had responsibilities to millions of people. He had responsibilities, and he ended up screwing all of that up over this girl. And
over a chick from South Central Los Angeles, whatever she's from.
yes.
That's ridiculous.
Hey
No
man,
offense to Cali, man, but it's just
I'm about to say, man, we got some pretty nice people out here, man.
Oh, I know that. No, I'm not saying that the people in Cali aren't nice. What I'm saying is that the fact that the woman is not from she's not from the royal family in Greece, not from the royal family, and that's what I meant. I'm not trying to dog LA. It's just that we're commoners to these people.
Exactly.
That's all I'm saying.
And but I'm thinking the major issue is the mixing of the blood. They just don't do that in royal families. They just don't do that. And so that's that. I think like a lot of people would say, well, it's it's her being black. But I think it's that definitely has that's definitely an issue, but it's the mixing of the bloodline not staying with one characteristic, and that's unfortunate. That's what happened. So now what's going to happen? Is he going to be able to maneuver throughout the royal family still, even with
Absolutely.
even with his mixed baby and his
yeah, he's still, you got to remember, man, he's still a part of their bloodline, of course. I mean, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, they're not gonna abdicate any other. I mean, he pretty much has abdicated his princehood, but he's always gonna be welcome. Yeah. Now she, on the other hand, like I said, man, she put herself in a bad position marrying that dude. Yeah. But I want to say this real quick to the lady, and I gotta go because I gotta get prepared. But Cherry said something, and again, this is just ignorance of Americans. Queen Elizabeth had nothing to do with the transatlantic slave trade. She was not born when the transatlantic slave trade was active. So when she said that,
I don't know where she got that from.
Yeah, I don't know where she got that from.
I think what she was trying to say is that she benefited from it financially. So I don't think that she realized. I mean, I'm sure she has enough intelligence to understand that she's not even old enough to be able to have been dealing on the slave trade.
Yeah. Well, on that note, I'm sorry, Clarence, go ahead.
Yeah, so I'm just saying that I think that's what she was trying to say.
Okay.
That, she benefited financially off of it. And that gave her the room and the room to be able to decide who's going to get a title, who's not going to get a title, who's going to do this, who's going to do that. So that ultimately gave her the privilege to be able to do that. But I know you got to go chaotic, man.
But my thing is that, well, before I go, here goes my thing. And this is why I say, as Americans, we are ignorant of what goes on globally sometimes. Now, Cherry said that they didn't give the boy a title. Now, we don't really know the coronation ceremonies for titles. I don't even know how they do it for titles. The titles could come at 8, 9 years old for all we know.
Right.
But they certainly gave Meghan Markle a title.
Yeah. Right.
So which one is it? Is it okay? We're not going to give her son a title, but why would they give her? She's the Duchess of Sussex. So if they gave her a title, wouldn't they give the more white offspring a title too? Because her child is more white than she is at this point, right? Or
I think, yeah, of course. Could be because they both have one white parent, one black parent, right? Well, let me say it like this: I think they gave her a title before they did their homework upon her, in my opinion. Once they did their full homework on her, they realized, oops, this chick is not who we thought she was. She's actually from the streets. And so they had already done it. They're not going to make the same mistake with the child, right? Now the question becomes, what happens if this child ends up being the person that can take the reins? What happens then? Because now she's already said, I'm not going to do that. And then what happens if it all falls in his hands? Well, I'm sure everything's in a trust, Well, what happens if that trust falls in his hands? Then what?
Good question.
Then what? What are they going to do? How are they going to get the ish out of the horse then, right? Or get the ish back in the horse then? So it's a crazy situation, but like I said, it comes down to a question of eugenics. Like you always talk about, Brother Chaotic. These people do not mix bloodlines. They just do not do that. Not unless it's a humongous kingdom on the other side, right? England and Scotland, England and Ireland. Maybe they would cross the bloodlines. But when it starts coming into hereditary factors, I just don't see it. What do you guys got to say about it?
I agree with you wholeheartedly, and great questions.
Yeah, me too.
I'm about to get up out of here. I got to prepare for the night.
Wait, Chaotic, because I got a bone to pick with you real quick.
Okay.
Why are you calling her lazy? Where did you get that from? Because I never heard anybody.
Well, sir, she's obviously lazy. She didn't want to do her job. Oh, what are you talking about? She's lazy.
Maybe it was hostile environment for her.
Oh, please.
Well,
she's a princess of she's the Duchess of Sussex. All she had to do was go to events. She's lazy.
But brother, maybe it was just a hostile situation for her.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I'm gonna put you on the hot seat. What evidence do you have that she's lazy just because she didn't want to go to an event?
The evidence is clear. The fact that she abdicated her princesshood. She didn't want to work. She did not want to go. She did not want to represent the queen.
I don't think she wanted the scrutiny. I will admit that.
Here we go.
The scrutiny, but I don't think. I see. You are saying she was lazy.
Yes.
And I'm okay. You're not saying that she was uncomfortable with all the responsibilities. You're saying she's lazy. So I'm saying, okay, well, what is your evidence to back up that she's lazy?
My evidence to back up that she was lazy is substantiated on the grounds that she quit her job. And not only did she quit her job, but what made her lazy is she's blaming oh, it was this environment and they did this, they did that there, they did this. Well, did they just start doing those things to you? I mean, which one is it? Were they doing those? So they weren't doing those things when you were courting Harry, but they're doing it when you got married to him. Which one is it?
I don't know what you're talking about, brother. I really don't know what you're talking about.
Clarence. She got married to the guy, right? They had a big wedding, if I'm not mistaken. Okay. So when did all of this hostility start? Did it start when they got married, or was it already before? Because if it started, if it was occurring while they were dating, then she should have been the responsible one and said, you know what, I'm not marrying you because your family is this, that, and the other.
Agreed.
But she never said it happened afterwards either to Oprah. She just basically said that these situations occurred and yada, yada, yada. So, which I just don't understand it from the perspective of a lowly American.
Like I said, man, yeah, you got a lot of stuff to throw out there, but you haven't proved that she's lazy. Yeah, that's what you haven't done. I mean, you're saying that she's uncomfortable with the situation. Excuse me. She's uncomfortable with the situation, and she has some issues to deal with as far as just not being groomed in that line of thinking process. And here, all of this stuff is thrown at her that she's got to be in the scrutiny of it all, and then on top of that, the having to actually hear somebody say the bloodline is not pure, so therefore I'm not going to give him a title. I mean, that's a lot of stuff to deal with, right? But that doesn't mean she's lazy.
Listen, okay, let's put this on the table for another day. I gotta do this real quick, but I see where you're coming from because I definitely want to broach that some more.
All right.
So yeah, let's put this on the table. Okay. Thanks, man.
All right.
Salute to you.
Much respect to you, brother Chaotic. Appreciate you, man. Yeah. So let's get back to our original topic. Sister Wanda, are you there? Sister Wanda, you're not there. We're not hearing you. I don't know what's going on with your audio. Okay. this is what we're gonna do. This is what we're gonna do, y'all. This is what we're gonna do. I'm going to shut this stream down because I'm gonna start another stream. I gotta finish. I gotta do Will Smith today, and so y'all come back for Will Smith. I'm probably gonna do that around maybe 3:30 or maybe 4 o'clock. We're gonna do Will Smith. We're gonna do episode 2, Simps American Style, and I want y'all to come back because we're gonna talk about that. All right, you good with that, Rush?
Yeah. I'll be there.
Okay, man. You know, if you can, of course, man. If you ain't out there bounty hunting, go ahead. We appreciate you. Oh, let me get let me get the sister in here real quick, man. All right, sis.
I had to switch devices. No, but you know what, Brother Clarence, you asked my last couple questions, so you kind of covered what I was going to say about you know, like they wasn't even going to give him his birth title. I feel like even if she was working her angle, it was a lot of stuff that was going on. Like she and my main thing is he kept calling her lazy.
Yeah. And you know,
I just couldn't understand it.
Me either. And so I thought he was gonna say something that proved that, but he didn't. But you know, you got to know about one thing. You got to know about Chaotic. A lot of stuff is in his head. He says a lot of stuff that's in his head, and he, you know, that's a good brother. That is a good brother. That brother checked on me when I was down and out. So he's a good brother, but you know, he just sometimes
because he was like discrediting the fact that she's worth like $5 million on her own. But then at the same time, Kate Middleton, she didn't want to work. She came straight from college to the palace.
Well, the thing is, none of us can verify whether they want to work or not. It's just our opinion, right?
Right.
And if somebody has something that can be verified, we can't verify that she didn't want to work.
But
so
I would argue that we do know Meghan works because she's been working since we know her. That's how we know her, from working in television. She done worked her way to Suits, a very good.
But I'm thinking Chaotic was probably talking about after she got married to the prince, and she was like, "I'm done. That's it." You know, you ever seen the cartoon where you know, Yosemite Sam marries the crazy looking millionaire lady, right? As soon as they get in from the wedding, he throws all his clothes on the floor and goes and jumps in the chair, and she goes like, "Get up! You're gonna sweep up everything." He's like, "I'm not gonna work. I ain't gonna get involved with you to work." But Sister Susan Q, I'm gonna shut this live down. We're gonna come back. We're gonna come back about 3:30, 4 o'clock, and I'm gonna do episode 2 of Simps American Style. We're gonna talk about Will Smith. All right. So if you can,
that's gonna be good.
Yeah. And I need some women. I need you. I need Sister Juana, OG Patrice, if she's out there.
I love Juana. I hope she get her microphone together.
Oh yeah, she'll get it together because she'll come out and she'll blast us. So we hope to see her. All right, y'all. So I'm gonna end this one real quick. Thank y'all for stopping by.
Okay, I'll see y'all at 4:30.
About 4:30. Yeah, keep looking for us. All right.
All right.
Peace, y'all. All right, Rush. I'm gonna see you later, brother. Like I said, if you get a chance, 4:30. And Sister Juana, if you out there, I'm gonna do another one on Will Smith later on the day. So catch back up with me on that one. All right. Until then, thank y'all for stopping by. Everybody stop by in the chat. Uncut with Daryl Long. Go check out if you haven't already signed up with and subscribed to Uncut with Daryl Long. Check out Uncut with Daryl Long. Check out sign up for subscribe to Chaotic Truth Live. Brother Tony, thank you for stopping by. And of course, Sister Susan Q and Sister Juana. Oh, Sister Enya, good to see you. Good to see you. Thank you for stopping by. Appreciate you. And we will see y'all later on this afternoon. Peace.